Hello, Becky here with special guest.
Sebastian or Seabass.
And my flower that my daughter dropped on me and I thought it was a bug and it scared me. We are here for another book tag. You're it. We are gonna do the... What book tag are we doing?
Netflix book tag.
Yes, so I copied where it was from. It's 2017, so we're a little bit behind in the times, but we still listen to Netflix. And it was by ERINTHEBOOKNUT. So I will try and look up her video online and see if we can find it. I'm gonna just move my baby over here. So we are doing the Fox Walk. So I'll show you. This is the Seasons of Alberta by Karen Wallen, done in 2015. Acrylic and fiberglass, I guess. So very pretty. So we are going to answer a question. A different fox for every question. Okay, what's the first question? Ask the question.
The book you most recently read.
So the last book I have read and finished was The Giver.
Nice.
Which I'm going to do a whole video series on that one.
Last book I finished and read was probably 7 Habits of
Highly Effective People.
Highly Effective People. Yeah, it's a very good book.
He's only read it 3 times.
Hey,
so it's apparently...
I audiobooked it 3 times.
Yes. Maybe I listened to an audiobook. The last audiobook I listened to I think was The Maid, and listening to Outlander. I told you every video is going to mention me rereading the Outlander this year. Okay, so Netflix, what's something we recently watched? Dirk Gently. We are on season 2 and it's
very strange. Okay.
Very, very strange. The guy who wrote the books for Dirk Gently, the holistic detective, is the same guy who does Douglas Adams, who does the
Hitchhiker's Guide?
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And Superstore was the last thing we
watched?
Fully completed off Netflix. Okay, let's go find another fox.
Yeah.
Yeah, show me how you walk, Sebastian. Where's my baby?
You're not recording it? You are recording it?
I am recording it.
That's my normal gait.
I think this is your normal gait. So this is Rose by Treasure Cooper, 2014. This one has a scarf. It's got the pretty beading. Let's see what you got, Maya. What are fly-by-nights from, Maya?
Mary and the Witch's Flower.
Yeah, what's that story about?
A girl trying to get a fly-by-night flower and the witch.
Fair enough. It's about how good I am at describing book plots. What are fly-by-nights, Sophie?
They're flowers from Mary and the Witch's Flower. Pretty much about a little redhead girl.
I want to be in a video.
I'm videoing this way.
Little cats, I forgot their names.
Video me.
I think it was Tom and Jerry. Little cats.
I'm always in mommy's videos.
What are you doing? Showing that he's still alive. Okay, so on this path, there's not just foxes, there's also these statues. So this one is Truth, 2015, made out of aluminum, depicts an elder in a moment of understanding. Kneeling upon the earth, he stares skyward and reaches toward the Great Spirit. His other hand is held to his chest in acknowledgement of the spirit within. I have forgotten who has made me. And then translated to French, which, if you can read that, great. I cannot. And this is the statue. Okay, so what's the question?
Top picks based on a recommendation from a friend or something.
Okay, so I was reading Project Hail Mary. A friend lent me that, and
Based
then
on
because
another
of
book
that,
you've read, sorry.
because of that book, she suggested I read a book called Unsaid. It's told from the perspective of somebody who's passed on. So like I've passed on and I'm watching him grieve and dealing with, I was a vet, and so I have all these animals in the house and he has to deal with like these 3 dogs. One dog is like, doesn't have very long to live. Like it's got like a heart condition or something. You also see a talking chimpanzee. So it's really interesting. And yeah, so that was a book recommended to me because of Project Hail Mary, which we are currently listening to, because I'm like, you have to listen to this book. And we happen to have a whole bunch of Amazon credits, Audible credits, because somebody didn't realize they were paying for Audible. So we got like 8 free books. And yeah, so now we're listening to that. Have you read a book based on a recommendation?
I was just going to say the same thing. Project Hail Mary based on your recommendation from The Martian, but I've never read The Martian. We watched the movie and I liked it, so that's mine.
Sounds good. There is way too many bugs in
There's
this
way too many
spot.
bugs. There's so many big flying things. I don't like it. Like bumblebees. I don't like KFC though.
But do you like celery? Okay, and I forgot to show the Dene translation here of the statue of, what was it, Truth? And the Cree translation. So we ran out of time yesterday, and foxes. We went in a different direction and there were no foxes that way. So new day, new outfit, new everything. So we are at the next fox on our walk. This is the Trembling Aspen Outline. There's like spider webs around it. By Susanna Thibault. Anyways, really like the colors of this fox. And you can see, kind of hard, but there are spider webs by it. Hi.
Hi, Seabass here.
Okay, so what's the next question? About the fox in the
The book
video.
you most recently bought.
You're sitting on it.
Yeah. He's looking backwards.
Okay, so the book I most recently bought was from my book haul when we were in Edmonton. There's like something in the woods. Thoughts and Prayers, I think was, no, the last book I bought was Cinder
Yeah.
by Marissa Meyer, I think. What was the last book you bought, Sebastian?
From Killer Instinct. Cinder from Killer Instinct.
That's the last book you bought? No, it's
I don't
the
remember the last
cyborg.
book I bought.
It's the cyborg Cinderella story.
No.
She's like half machine.
The last book I bought, I don't know. I don't even know the last game I bought.
Alright, so let's move on to the next fox then. Okay, so this is our next fox. Talavera fox. Whoa, the big spider there, that big black thing. By Elisa Rubalcaba. It's white and blue. So, what's the next question, Seb?
One book that you have, or one book that you haven't read that everyone has been talking about.
Cinder. Book Lovers by Emily Henry. That's brand new, but people are talking about it. I just bought, that was one of the last books I bought, not the exact last book I bought.
Elden Ring.
You have that, you haven't read that Mistborn. Everybody
yeah.
talks about Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson.
I've had that book forever. Someone bought that book for me who really loves that series. I'm sorry, man. It's a bit dry. I'll read it.
It probably gets better because
It's
everybody
interesting.
loves Brandon Sanderson in that genre.
It's interesting. Like the way the power mechanics in that world work are real fascinating. I want to read a bit more about it. It's all about like metal.
Okay, read the question again. There's one book I have and one book I have
Everyone's-
read and one book I haven't read.
I think so.
So I've listened
You
to
have
the
and
lot.
one book that you haven't read. That
So I
everyone's
have
been
not
talking-
read the Book Lovers, but I did read Beach Read, and I want to read People We Meet on Vacation. And I did listen to The Love Hypothesis and The Maid. So those are ones I have read.
Okay. Pokemon Arceus, everyone's played and like rants and raves about it. It's supposed to be good. Like, they finally changed the formula, I guess, but I haven't played it yet. Justin loves it. And
Shout
then
out to
Elden
Justin.
Ring is one I have played that everyone's talking about, but I like to play more, but it's like one of these games you gotta really pour hours on.
It's hard when you have 4
the money
kids.
for it right now.
Money,
80
time.
bucks.
Let's move on to the next box, which is a few more feet down that way. Okay, so we stumbled upon this one. Watch out. A fox in fish clothing done by the Father Patrick Mercredi Community High School, which we call Father Merc. Or just Merc. This one is really pretty. The bugs are ridiculous. This one has like the fish scales on it. Really, really pretty.
I love Hypothesis is your thing.
Alright, Sam.
A funny book. That's your question.
I did laugh out loud with Beach Read. Dad is Fat by that comedian, Jeff Gaffigan. Jeff? Jim?
Jim Gaffigan, yeah.
I always call him Jeff. He was laughing out loud to Project Male.
Hail Mary.
I always say Male Harry.
Hail
So
Mary.
Project. He was laughing like we weren't even done the first chapter yet, and I was like, man, you've giggled the whole time.
Giggle.
Any other funny books you can think of? Oh, watch behind you. There's like something stuck in a spider web and it's gross. We were playing Overcooked. That's
Overcooked is fun. Yeah, that's funny.
It can be funny depending on what you're doing.
That's true.
Yeah, that's all I can think of for funny books.
So, that game's kind of funny. It's not really like hilarious.
Baby's grumpy. Hi! He's like, there you are. I'm not alone. So here comes up the next box. It's so pretty. So this one's called Foxy Loxy by Erin Stinson. And kind of the same on both sides here. Okay, what's the next question?
Drama King or Drama Queen in the book?
The dark one from Shadow and Bone series.
The robot in Hitchhiker's Guide. He's pretty funny. In the book, he's really good.
He's a
If you've ever
drama
seen
king?
The movie, oh yeah. If you've ever seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. I can't remember his name right now. He's the big white robot that's like always like super depressed all the time because he's like hyper intelligent, and because he's hyper intelligent, he realizes everything's like pointless. The book is the same way. He's like super intelligent, smarter than any robot kind of thing. And he's funny. He's super dramatic all the time. He's like, I'm gonna do it. Everything sucks. Like, but he's funny.
So you see this river? This is the Athabasca River. And this is the Athabasca River Fox by Mary Garosa. Garosa? It's really cool. Mosaic, kind of. Want to come join me for our next question?
Yeah. Marvin. I'm gonna say his name was
Something like that. Marvin?
Marvin in Hitchhiker's Guide.
It's also drama? Drama?
He's the one I was just talking about. A book with cartoons on the cover.
Bone.
Oh, you were fast on that one.
Because I remember looking at these questions previously and coming up with my answers.
I was
before
gonna
doing the
say
tag.
something, but I would offend a whole group of people, so I'm not gonna say it. It's not really a cartoon, it's anime. Anime's not cartoons, those are totally different things. Bone's good.
What anime were you going to say?
I was gonna say something like Dr. Stone or
Yeah.
just anime in general. But
A lot of covers are illustrated.
so if you want to say illustrated, then yeah, like
Yes.
something like Dr. Stone.
Yeah, there's a little bit difference between like illustrated versus cartoon. Bone is more cartoony, which the whole series it's like a graphic novel.
Everyone's talking about Spy Family right now.
Yes,
it's like
I
all
need to
over
read
the
that.
place.
Yeah, I really need to read that.
There's an anime that's out, I guess. I
I'll
didn't know
read
they
it
made
and
an
then-
anime, and
yeah.
apparently the anime is like really good
So
as well.
I'll read it and I'll pass it on to you. But I've never read a manga before in my life. That's a manga and not a graphic novel. And so you're gonna have to teach me how to read it, and we'll do like a reading vlog together.
Watching Demon Slayer, and I'm like way behind. Demon Slayer was popular like 2-3 years ago.
What's a cartoon on Netflix, or let's say animated on Netflix that you like?
Castlevania, so good, so good, really.
The kids, it's
Like
on Disney though.
They did an awesome job, but it's mature, very mature.
The kids really like the Gravity Falls, but that's on Disney.
Yeah, Gravity Falls. Awesome.
Animated movie on Netflix, Mitchell's versus Machines. That's a good one.
I like that one. It's hilarious.
All right, let's go to the next fox. The baby is upset. So going away from our foxes for a minute, this is another one of the statue things, I guess. This one depicts honesty by Treasure Cooper. The Kitch Sabe is a traditional symbol of honesty. And this one is the French translation of it. And this is the Dene translation. And Cree. Look at that word. It's a long word. And then this is honesty. Okay, what's the next question?
A book or series you want to read or watch again?
The Narnia series. Both read and watch. And I'm going through Outlander. Not rewatching it though. And for the first time, the Giver series. I just reread The Giver, but there's 3 more. It's a quartet. Who knew? I didn't. So I gotta read the other 3 now. You?
I want to replay Super Mario RPG and the Legend of the Seven Stars.
Sounds epic.
It's really good. It's like one of the best SNES games ever. I want to rewatch Castlevania that we were just talking about. It made me kind of want to watch it again.
What about the games? Do you like
Oh, the games are
Castlevania
awesome.
games?
Yeah, the games are fun.
I've only played one. I've never played the Mario RPG.
I never played
just play,
Rondo
like,
of
Super
Blood.
Mario.
Everyone always talks about Rondo of Blood. It's the one with Richter, which the next Castlevania series that Netflix is coming out with is supposed to revolve around Richter. So it'd be cool to play that game and then watch that show. They're probably going to be pretty loosely based. I mean, the other Castlevania is pretty loosely based on the games. I mean, there's not a lot of material to go from. Oh, even the story is like
Pretty
Dracula
basic.
comes back to life every 100 years when people get really depressed.
1,000 or 100?
Belmont, well, it's like 100, sometimes it's 1,000, sometimes it's like whatever. And then just whenever the world gets really dark and depressed and whatever, then he kind of gets resurrected back to life, and then it's up to a Belmont to go and kill him.
So what you're saying is Dracula should come back any day now?
Yeah, yeah. Well, we should see his castle reappear at any time. Full of demon spawns, and literally death is like his right-hand man, so, you know.
Nice. So this one is The Fox by Bill Woodward School in Anzac. So that is like a little reserve place by us. It's very pretty. It's got like the cherry blossoms and some cool fire stuff. All right, what's the next question?
A non-fiction book that you would recommend to everyone.
Good Morning Monster.
7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
I guess I could guess I could explain Good Morning Monster a little bit more. I will show off this next fox because we only have 2 questions left and there's a few more foxes. So I'll show off this next fox while I tell you what Good Morning Monster is about. So this one, somebody mentioned it on a comment section in a YouTube video and talked about Good Morning Monster is Canadian as well, and it is written by a psychiatrist, and she shares the story of 5 of her patients over the past like 20 years kind of thing, and what she is from them, and like the resilience of people and the human spirit and stuff. One person is also, it was recommended in the comment section because one of the people was a survivor, an Indigenous person, a survivor of from a residential school. Really good, really powerful, really look up trigger warnings because these people have gone through so much abuse and stuff, but it was a really, really good read. More of a faith nonfiction, but it's kind of good for anybody, is the 1000 Gifts, because that's all about being thankful, grateful for even just like the littlest of things. So that one is a really powerful one as well. So here's our next. It's got some Canadian geese on it. Very Canadian. This is The Canadian Geese by Joyce Locke. So, what's our next question? It looks like a fox in the face.
Action adventure book.
That I don't know.
What I was thinking, but I guess up until now I haven't been thinking about books I haven't finished yet. But the action adventure book I've been reading was The Last Wish, which is like supposed to be technically the first chronologically in the Witcher series of books. I haven't
Yes.
finished it yet, but it is full of action and adventure, really, and it's kind of cool.
And you were going through the Galaxy books.
Hitchhiker's Guide.
Hitchhiker's Guide. Hitchhiking, like that's action, right? Adventure.
It's action-y. Yeah, adventure for sure. It's
Bone.
action-y, but it's more adventure. It's more about like all the crazy, ridiculous scenarios they get into.
The graphic novel Bone has some adventure in it.
That's action adventure for sure.
Narnia. You're traveling to
Zelda.
Narnia.
Yeah.
I've read The Hobbit. I haven't read any of the Lord of the Rings though. There you go. If you have an action adventure story, share it down below. Okay, here's our last fox. Now we're on the road, so people are noisy and annoying. This is Rosie. I thought it was Poppies, but I guess it's Rose. By Sharon Heading. It's very pretty. Mansion.
New releases. What new book are you excited about?
Book Lovers. I don't know of anything that hasn't released yet though, but Book Lovers by Emily Henry.
Breath of the Wild 2 and Shredder's Revenge for sure. Shredder's Revenge comes out next week. Those are the ones I'm excited for. And then whatever Nintendo show is coming up here.
I can just see the pollen like floating. Oh, it's off this tree. Oops. It's off this tree, all the pollen.
everywhere.
Book Lovers is... It's already out, so I can't think of anything like a future release that's coming out that I can think of that I want to read. That's it?
The last one.
Well, thanks for joining me for this video and this walk.
Of course.
2 days in a row.
It was fun.
It is hot.
Hot today. It's the same day. I'm wearing the same shirt.
That's true. Like if you think this baby's adorable. Say thanks for watching.
Wait. Hi. Hi. There we go. Great big smiles, right? Hi.
Say bye.